Hi everyone, welcome to the next episode of my Warlord Titan build. Sorry it's taken so long to get the next this next installment together, and this might appear a little bit choppy. I've done it in a couple of different periods, but basically I wanted to wait until I had a few things in hand to show you. Yeah, the first thing I have on hand is the Titan superstructure here, all nice and ready to go. I have to fill in these gaps at the back with some of these exhaust plates, which will sit over here, or over here. There we go. Then there's a little bit of work to do around here. I've got all of the secondary weapons to load in back there, or the tertiary weapons really, the Mauler bolt cannons and the las cannons, but it's cool to have all of this assembled. The next cool thing that I've got is some magnets. I placed an order with amazingmagnets.com just before Christmas, and these have arrived. Some of them I have here. These are magnets are 1 inch or 25 millimeters by 6 millimeters. So as you can see here, these two, separated already by a plastic washer, are already tough to pull apart, or almost impossible to pull directly apart. But each of these magnets is super powerful. Obviously, particularly when stacked in series here. I'll pull these two here. From the Amazing Magnets website, it suggests that 2 of these have a 54 pound pull, which I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I'm guessing 54 pounds of strength to pull those 2 apart. Now, my initial idea was to use these in the waist. I think I'm still going to go with that. I'm just going to very carefully put this back on here and be careful I don't pinch myself. Try and put those together. There we go. I'll put one in the, well, I'm pointing up there, one in the waist of the Titan, the top of the leg. I'm just going to tilt up so you can see that. So one up the top there, in this area. And the next one will be in the center here. Now, conventional wisdom says that I should have not sealed up this superstructure before I'd glued the magnet in. Looking at a couple of other builds, a couple of other folks who have been building Titans online recently, one of them being the Wee Men blog, which you can find listed in my blog roll. He's put magnets that are actually a little bit thicker than this. They're about 10 millimeters thick. One in the waist and one inside this, basically glued down. So there's that layer of resin in between. Obviously I haven't done that. I'm going to need to drill into the resin and probably put a plastic separator in there somehow. So still got to work that out. I'll get that sorted in the next day or two. One of the things I'll go on to show you in this video is how to use this other piece of equipment that I got, which is a Forstner bit. This Forstner bit has a half-inch piece at the back here, which is just big enough to fit into my the chuck of my drill, I can tighten that up. And what this does now is creates essentially a 1-inch drill bit. So I grab one of these 1-inch washers at the back. You can see that that fits just inside the room of that. The cool thing about this, after the pilot sort of point goes in, these two blades here start shaving off parts of the resin. When you're doing this, make sure you do have a respirator on. I've mentioned before that sometimes I don't worry about it, but this definitely creates a lot of mess. I'm going to tilt down now and show you the pile of shavings left over from drilling into the shoulder plates for my shoulder mounted weapons. So if you're using the Forstner bit, great thing about this is as opposed to a hole saw, to get rid of the stuff in between you have to drill all the way through a piece. This one allows you to drill into a piece. You don't have to take it all the way through, which is very important for this kind of thing. So coming up in the video and the photos, you'll see how I put together or drilled into the shoulder mount here. Drilled down with the Forstner bit, glued in, once I was at the right depth, glued in one of those 6mm thick magnets on the bottom of the turbo laser destructors, whatever they're called. I drilled down a bit to clear some space and glued on one of the washers. So bringing these two together, slot that in. And now shake that. I get a slight bit of movement, but when that's sitting up on top of the Titan, it would be just fine. There'll be no chance of it toppling off. A little bit of pull, get those apart. If I'd put one of those other 6mm magnets over there, it'd be a completely different story as far as removing it. So you'll see that coming up in the video, and that'll be sort of good to go there. So I have these two sections ready now to pin onto the side of the superstructure. One of the things I do have, I've got to say thank you to Ben Greaves, who's a guy that I met on the House Tyrannus Knight Facebook page. He was kind enough to, during a visit to Warhammer World, pick me up the, whereabouts was it? There we go. The beta pattern of the Titan head. So I'll put these together there. So this is a slightly different look to the alpha pattern, and I quite like this one, so I thought I'd spend the extra, get this head sorted. Fortunately, I've got a friend who's looking to buy the original head, so I might be able to sell it to him. Also, the head pack comes with shields. So these are the ones that come in the beta pattern shield. So they're all squarer, I think, than the... Oops. Reaching around here. Not even the right pack. Just talk amongst yourselves while I look for the head. There it is. Okay. For the alpha pattern head, there's a slightly different arrangement on the top. This one has a taller crown on it. Shields around her. And the front plates. There we go. Come together in a solid fashion like that. I like it, but I prefer the beta pattern one. So thanks again, Ben, for picking that for me. That was great. Very cool. There we go. This piece here is the rear of the basically the head structure. This is where the troops would, or the pilots and so on, would move through into the body. This goes here. Just quickly going to snap that off. Yep. This goes here. What I'm going to do here is I'll sink one of the larger magnets into the body here, and then put a washer, grind this down a bit so I can put a washer here and then be able to remove the head as necessary. I've got a lot of smaller magnets as well that I can use for magnetizing this, the top of it, so that I can lift it off and you'll see the detailed interior. One of the other things I got with these thinner magnets, contemplating sticking one on the back here, see how it goes, but if I was to then do multiple heads for the Warlord, I could, when I took them off, I could attach these to a whiteboard or hang it from my fridge or something like that. Anyway, so there we go. We have magnets. We've got the funky Forstner bit. That's Forstner. So if you're looking for that in a hardware store. Very cool stuff, and very nasty as well, so keep your hands clear. Torso's done, need some magnets put in it. The shoulders are almost ready to go on. Where's the... There they are. There we go. I think I've mentioned before that I'm going to glue the arms, the upper arms in place and pin the volcano cannons on. That means that when they can have it in a cool, aggressive pose, and when I change out the weapons, there's no need to change that pose. The pose sort of stays the same. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Everything's coming along pretty well. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. Now on to showing you how I drilled into these shoulder mount sections. Hooray! Okay, so here's some footage that I recorded earlier. You can tell that I'm still learning what I'm doing with these videos, as nothing important is happening in shot. So I'm at the moment I'm drilling with the Forstner bit into the top of the shoulder mount. I'm using that stack of washers there as a guide to see how deep I need to go. I can determine beforehand how deep that needed to be. So I'm looking, and there I am, still sort of 1.5 washes away from being deep enough. Jumping back in with the drill there. Of course, there I am holding it in my hand. Probably not the safest way to do it, but it takes a long time to get through that resin. So it wasn't too too stressed that I was going to pop through onto my hand. Of course, that might happen later, in which case you'll see me screaming. But yeah, it was basically just a bit of back and forth with this, drilling in a bit deeper, getting it further along. Setting in these magnets has probably been one of the tougher things so far on the build. But it'll be advantageous for me later on if I want to switch out those top weapons, switch out heads, transport the thing around. So, all worth it. You can see all of that, the dust and the shavings coming off. It was really surprising how much you could turn just a little bit of that shoulder mount into. I'm hoping that this is got the right fit there. So let's find out, because the next stage after this was to drill back into the base of the weapon. Yeah, looks like it could be good there. There's some more of my shirt. Finally, we get to see the hole. You can see that push down. Looks like I'm just about ready to drill into the weapon there. Nope. Back with a little bit more of the Forstner bit. It's a great tool though. Cost me about $15 from a local hardware store. So, not too bad at all. Everything's set. So after I drilled into the weapon mount, which you can see here now, spot in the center, drill down. Probably having this in a vise would have been the best way to go with this one, so I could maintain or have it below a drill press, maintain a nice sort of even grind on the bottom. I think mine is a little bit wonky, but it hasn't seemed to damage it. But yeah, then we're moving on to some photos that I took. I can show you. Okay, so once everything's drilled out there with the Forstner bit, I drilled in some holes into the side of the mount, so that when I push the magnet into the epoxy glue, it had somewhere to escape out the side. Thanks very much to the Wee Men blog for that little tip. There you can see some of the glue coming out the side, and then all tidied up with the magnet.